Check tcgcastle.com and get 5% discount on your first purchase with TCG Center 5 code. You can also trade your Pokemon bulk for a new Sun.
How's it going, guys? Once again, welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. In today's video, I'm gonna play with Crobat Break deck. So in today's video, I'm gonna show you my Crobat Break deck that I just recently built, and I just tried to get it somehow competitive. So I'm running 4-4-3-2 line of the Zubat, Golbat, Crobat, and Crobat Break. First of all, you probably know Golbat from the Phantom Forces, later reprinted in the Generation with the Sneaky Bite and Super Cross. So it had that ability when you play Golbat from your hand, you can put 2 damage counters to one of your opponent Pokemons in play. Crobat from the Sun and Moon with triple poison can actually, with 1 energy, poison your opponent active Pokemon and put 3 damage counters to him between turns. On the other side, Surprise Strike is very good attack, especially if you're gonna have 2 Crobats in play. You can simply retreat between Crobats and use Surprise Strike for 120 each turn. And the best thing about this deck is Crobat Break, because simply with Silent Bite, you can leave your opponent active Pokemon paralyzed, and if you do that, you're gonna shuffle your Crobat Break and all cards into your deck. And of course, also Strike for 60, which is just insanely good in my opinion. And I'm also running 2 copies of Remoraid and 2 copies of the Octillery, simply because I want to make this deck also budget build, and also I want to make this deck without EX in the side, so no shavings, which means that our opponent will need to take 6 prize cards, which is not going to be that easy, especially against 130 and 160 HP Pokemon, with also decent attacks. So 17 Pokemon, 35 trainer cards, and 8 energies. I'm running also 4 copies of Level Ball and 4 copies of Timer Ball in this build. Simply with the Level Ball, we can search our deck for Remoraid, Octillery, Zubat, or Golbat, and with the Timer Ball, we can just flip a coin, and if we get heads, we can search our deck for each coin. Each coin can actually search deck for the evolution Pokemon, which means we can search our deck for Golbat, Crobat, Crobat Break, or Octillery. 2 copies of Rare Candy, just optional, so we can go from the Zubat into the Crobat turn 2 and maybe just then strike Wally to the Crobat Break. It can happen, but it's not that high chance to happen. But still, Rare Candy is a good one, especially in the late game where we can simply go from the Zubat into Crobat and then have access to the VE Seeker for that Wally and have that Crobat Break in just a single turn. But on the other side, I kind of like the Rare Candy effect, even because I have those Golbats with the Sneaky Bite, so I can have the turn 2 Crobat for that triple poison, maybe even for that surprise strike, but triple poison is going to be much better for turn 2 attack. Special Charge ×1, just to recycle those double course energies, Super Rod ×2, you know, simply because we need to have as many Super Rods as we can have, because it's very important to keep those Golbats cycling through the bench and play. So we can spread damage counters with the Sneaky Bite. On the other side, 4 copies of VE Seeker, so we can have those supporters in play as often as we can. 2 copies of Silent Lab is my stadium decision, simply because with the Silent Lab I can shut down all abilities in play. Speaking about basic Pokemons, since I'm not gonna play any stage 1 ability Pokemon, I just decided to test Silent Lab because I think it's so good. It's gonna prevent my opponent from being able to set up with Shaming, with that Hoopa EX, even with that upcoming Tapu Lele. So definitely Silent Lab, it's a good card, and I can see Silent Lab actually increase in price when the new Tapu Lele actually became popular in the standard format. Stadium decision was a Silent Lab. Supporter cards, running 1 Hex Maniac. Very important to have it, simply because we can also shut down, in addition to the Silent Lab, our opponent stage evolution abilities, like a Vileplume Rotating Pollen. 1 copy of Lysandre, 3 copies of N, and 4 copies of Professor Sycamore for the draw support, and also running 1 Professor Kukui for extra 20 damage and 2 extra cards. Sometimes it can be definitely good. 1 copy of Pokemon Ranger, you know, simply because of the Glacier. But for example, you can poison your opponent Glacier with a triple poison, so it's not going to be that effective Glacier, but still, having Pokemon Ranger can help a lot, especially against even Giratina, Chaos Wheel, and any other problems that can be caused with the abilities of the attack or effects of the attack. Running also in addition to that 1 copy of Skyla and 1 copy of Wally. Teammates even would be maybe good tech. I decided not to run it simply because I don't prefer teammates that much. I don't know why, but I love much Skyla because in the early game Skyla can make more impact to the game simply because Skyla can be played even if you didn't lose your Pokemon on turn before, so that's the reason mainly why I prefer a little bit more Skyla instead of the teammates. 2 copies of XP share are very important in this build, simply because Crobat requires 3 energies, and if we have Crobat on the bench with let's say 1 double course energy or without energies, we can have just XP share, and after we lose our Crobat in the active position with Psychic energy, we can simply transfer 1 energy to that Crobat with the XP share and then go with double course energy ready to attack. 1 copy of Float Stone, mainly for that Octillery retreat, and 8 energies. 4 of them are going to be double cores and 4 of them are going to be regular Psychic energy cards. Overall, I kind of like the deck. It's definitely budget build that can be also competitive in many aspects, so you should definitely try it by yourself and judge to see if it's good or not, but I feel how this deck actually have a lot of potential. Dimension Wally would be the perfect for this build, simply because with the Dimension Wally in play, we could just play this deck with double cores energy, and you know, then you could just attack with double course energy and surprise strike, and also with the Silent Bite. But no Dimension Wally means that we need to have more cards like basic energies and XP shares to have that deck running properly. If you're looking for any of these cards, make sure to check TCGcastle.com. TCG Center 5 code will give you the 5% discount on your first purchase. Also, you can trade your bulk for the Sun and Moon Guardian Race booster box. It's available worldwide, so make sure to check. With the description, you can find the links in you can find the link below, so everything you need to know will be posted in the video description. So I'm gonna play today with this build in 1 game, so it was definitely intense battle till the end, so I hope you guys gonna enjoy. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button if you already didn't. So see you in the game. Okay, so time to call heads and start first. Let's take a look at the opening hand. I hope I can start with Zubat, simply because if I start with Remoraid, I'm gonna need a Float Stone, and that's definitely not something you would like to see. On the other side, my opponent will have option to take 1 extra card, simply because they have basic Pokemon in my opening hand. So let's just reshuffle hand back and drop 7 more cards. Well, there is Zubat and there is also Remoraid, so I kind of like my opening hand. Let's see what's going to be on the opposite side. What type of deck my opponent play? Alright, so I'm still waiting to see that. Turn 1 is going to be just energy attachment. And after that I'm going to pass my turn. Turn 2 is going to be Golbat and Octillery evolution. And at least I'm going to have that Abyssal hand. So on the other side it's a Zygarde. Unfortunately for me, that Zygarde is going to be huge. Oh, look at this. Team Flagrant already. You gotta be kidding me, dude. That was definitely a big move for my opponent. And also that Cell Storm is going to be very, very devastating blow for me. So I can Abyssal hand for only 1, which is going to be just Crobat Break. That's unreal. I'm passing my turn for now, and I'm stuck in the active position without Pokemon with energy card attached. So there is already 2nd energy attached to that Zygarde, and there we go with the M. If my opponent managed to get, he can go for like 80, but since I have resistance, he can go for like a 20 less, which is 60 in total. If he can find Float Stone, he can retreat and strike me for like a 60, but that's not going to happen. There is Silent Lab. More than that, Sycamore for 7. Sycamore for 7. A couple more Zubats for me, which is always good. Same as that energy. And one more level ball is gonna be for one more Zubat. So I have right now 3 Zubats in play. Plus I also have that Abyssal hand and maybe possibility to get that Crobat, which is gonna happen. Finally something good for me. And right now I'm just gonna use my triple poison, put 3 damage counters between turns to his Carbink, and that's gonna be it. If my opponent managed to get Shaman or any Pokemon with abilities, as long as I have my Silent Lab in play, abilities will not work, so that's definitely good. On the other hand, I have that N in my hand, which is gonna definitely be good. You know, power memory, all cells burn 200 damage counters, but you need to discard 3 energies from your Zygarde. Of course, you don't want to do that. Of course, you want to use just a Cell Storm and attack for 60 and heal 3 damage counters between turns. There's another VC, which is going to be for another M. Alright, I might get lucky, and I might just find that Lysandre. We shall see. I'm gonna have 6 new cards in my hand. Well, there's a double Course Energy. Okay, interesting hand. Very powerful hand also. So there is another... There's actually first Max Elixir for my opponent. What the heck? He's just attaching so many energies to that Zygarde right now. He's so fat at this moment. With 4 energies, but no option to retreat. My opponent will definitely be in bad position. So I'm gonna first play my Golbat. Put some damage counters and some pressure down to his Zygarde on the bench. So I'm gonna grab another Golbat. That's gonna be 2 more damage counters on his Zygarde. After that, I'm gonna play Timer Ball. I might get lucky, so I can find maybe 1 more. Nope. Abyssal hand for like a 3. Let's see what I can find with Abyssal hand. Timer Ball. Well, it looks like those Timer Balls actually don't like me, so I'm gonna just play that, and I'm gonna grab 6 new cards, and after that it's definitely time to move on to the Zubat, simply because of the fact his Carbink is gonna be knocked out from the poison, and I really don't want to give my opponent an opportunity to one-hit knockout my Crobat. On the other side, oh, so he promoted that Carbink in front. Okay, which means I'm probably gonna need that Lysandre, but so far I don't have access to the Lysandre. It's okay. It's okay, there is Escape Rope, which is gonna be for one of my... Tell you what, let it be for Octillery. I like too much my Golbats, and I really don't want to give my opponent an opportunity to knock out any of them. So Zygarde have 60 damage counters on it, which means if I can go for like 120, I'm gonna be short for like a 10. And that's just insane. Since he have 190, I'm gonna need 1 more Golbat. And I might did a tiny mistake here, simply because if I don't have 1 more Golbat, I'm not gonna have enough for the knockout, but still I can find Professor Kukui. Still I can find Professor Kukui, which could give me the opportunity for the knockout. Oh, there we go, there's a Golbat. There's a Golbat, and there's also a double Course Energy, so his Zygarde is gonna be knocked out, no doubt about it. And after that, I don't know how he's gonna win this game. Simple as that. So there we go, another Golbat as the top deck. The damage counter will go to his Zygarde. Double Course Energy, Timer Ball, I might find that Crobat break. There we go. So I can have even more HP and I can be even more tanky here. I'm gonna play that Special Charge, you know, just to recycle back that double Course Energy, and then I'm gonna play that N. There we go. Is it worth to play Super Rod? I don't see a reason why I wouldn't use that Super Rod, simply because I need that Octillery. And right now I can simply retreat back to my Crobat. And I can use my Surprise Strike for 120, which is going to be exactly enough for the knockout, even 10 more damage counters than 190, and there is Silent Lab and Professor Kukui. Right now, unfortunately for my opponent, he don't have Zygarde in play, but he have that Carbink, and he can quickly use that Diamond Gift and maybe power up his another Zygarde with 190 HP, which is definitely going to be a nightmare for me, of course. But I'm going to try somehow, you know, to power up my another Crobat here. There is another N. Alright, so many N's has been played through this game. 2 V Seekers and Professor Sycamore. Maybe V Seeker for Skyla? Or it's better just to go with Sycamore for 7. Definitely interesting decision. If there is a Lysandre in my discard pile, I wouldn't have too many options. I would just go V Seeker for Lysandre and Lysandre down to his Zygarde, but simply it's not. So that's going to be 0 damage counter to the Diamond Gift, but 2 energies are going to be attached down to his Zygarde. So what I want to do here is simply retreat to my Golbat with double Course Energy and I'm gonna Sycamore for 7 anyway. So there is a couple Crobats. Also one Level Ball, which is gonna be for that Remoraid, which is very important piece of puzzle here. More than that, that's just gonna be one swoop across. So all of my opponent Pokemon in play are gonna take 10 damage counters. Mainly the reason why I decided to promote my Golbat, not a Crobat, or even evolve my Golbat into Crobat is the fact that he can simply knock him out with maybe his Lance Rat with, let's say, that Power Memory, but on the other side, he managed to set even more Pokemon on his bench. And that's probably gonna be the knockout. But depend if he had that Power Memory item card. So 3 escape ropes, 2 escape ropes. That's interesting. 1 Trader's Mail. I don't see the sign of the Power Memory, so this might not be enough for the knockout. Simply because with the Lance Rat he can go for like 100 because I have that resistance minus 20. And that's definitely not something my opponent will love to see. Oh, I forget, he had that Regirock, so it's going to be 10 more damage counters. So he can go for like 110 and still he's going to be short for like 20. And that's the power of the Crobat, that resistance versus those fighting Pokemon. So Lance Rat for like 100. Silent Lab play actually blocks my opponent's opportunity to do something good here. What I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna play my, you know, Hex Maniac just to be 100% positive that he is not gonna have options to max out my Crobat on the bench, even if he can find the stadium. But anyway, there is poison for my triple poison, so he's gonna take 3 damage counters per turn, meaning that next turn I can actually just promote my Crobat and retreat down to my Crobat break and knocks him out without too many problems for like 120. There is one more fighting strong energy attached, and Central Lady. You gotta be kidding me that he managed to get Central Lady right now. Alright, so that's a big deal. That's definitely a big deal. That Central Lady is something unexpected. So, yeah. I can go definitely for like 120, but he had like 140. So many strong energies. That Zygarde is the last man standing for my opponent, no doubt about it. And it's time to use that Super Rod to recycle that Crobat line back into my deck. I don't even want to try strike for like 60 and leave him paralyzed, because if he have VE Seeker, he can simply use that Center Lady, and I don't want to take the risk. I don't want to take the risk. I just want to attack for 120 and next turn just attack again for 120. But yeah, VE Seeker for Center Lady will definitely win my opponent game here. Expect if I don't get that Professor Kukui top deck, so I can go for like 140. But we shall see. Another Fighting Energy attached, which means right now he can go for like 120, and he's gonna be short for like a 10. And there's another Center Lady from his hand, but as long as I have that Silent Lab in play, I don't need to worry, because Lysandre will go for like 120, and that's not gonna be enough for a knockout, and I can simply retreat to my Crobat break. Oh, he decided to go for like an 80. No way. No way. Okay, at least I have N as the top deck. So, will I get... Nope, I'm just gonna get another Crobat. So I can go for 120 more. Let's just go for like 120 more here with that surprise strike. So, he's definitely on his knees right now with that Zygarde, no doubt about it. If there's not going to be another strong energy, there's not going to be enough damage counters for the knockout. Oh, there's a Pearl City, so right now he can go for one-hit knockout. Oh, no way. Okay, I have one more Silent Lab left in play. Okay, Ultra Ball. So that Ultra Ball must be for one more Regirock. I would be surprised to see nothing less than the Regirock. Okay. So, if he wants to knock me out, Sailstorm will go for like 110, 120, 100, so not enough for the knockout. He has only one card left in his hand. Ugh. I don't know what is the best top deck for me. Octillery sounds like a good idea, but he still needs to take like 3 prize cards after the knockout against my Crobat in the active position. Which means I can even knock him up for like a 60. I mean, he can retreat, but if you do that, I don't know, he can definitely retreat down to his another Zygarde and maybe strike with the Sailstorm. Even better, maybe just to the Carbing, attacking with his Carbing, with that Diamond Gift for 0. Which means I'm gonna definitely have one turn for the victory here, because I'm gonna just retreat back to my Crobat and attack for 120, and then I will have more and greater chance. Oh, there is even Diver Ball. Oh, come on. There we go. So that's a heads. Very, very important heads on the coin flip. And I'm even gonna attach that energy down to my Octillery. More than that, I'm gonna just play that Abyssal hand, which is gonna be for like 4 cards. There is just the XP share, but who needs that XP share, guys? I think about playing it down to my Octillery. How many ends I have left? Well, it's definitely time to play that Sycamore. Even knowing that I'm gonna go down to 2 cards, it's important to get that Silent Lab in play. It's important to retreat onto my Crobat and use that Surprise Strike for 120, meaning that next turn I can simply have knockout against his Zygarde on the bench, because I have access to my Lysandre, and I think this is gonna be the GG. I think this is gonna be GG, but who knows, maybe I'm wrong. I have 2 Crobat breaks ready on my bench, so definitely not good for my opponent, especially if he don't have any in his hand. I think this is gonna be it. So there you go, one Professor Sycamore for 7. He desperately needs to get that strong energy and fighting Fury Belt, so he can even have more HP and more damage counters. He can max him out even with the Sailstorm right now, because he can go for like 100. Lysandre can go for like 150. Of course, even Octillery can have that retreat right now with 2 energies in play. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna retreat back down to my Crobat break, and I'm gonna show my opponent Lysandre play to his Zygarde and say well played, because it was definitely an interesting match. But at the end, trading 1 prize for 2 prize cards was just way too much for my opponent. Unfortunately, Crobat break and Crobat also, same as the Golbat, have resistance -20, and that Silent Lab also helped a little bit. So it was definitely very close match till the last prize card and last card. So I hope you guys enjoy watching this video. Make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos if you like it. Crobat break, what else to say? One of my favorite Pokemon's definitely in Pokemon trading card game. I kind of like it. My favorite card is actually a Dark Crobat from the Neo Destiny, I think. But anyways, make sure to try this deck, especially if you have all cards for it, because it's very funny to play, and I kind of like it. So once again, have a nice day. Till the next time, we'll see you in the next video. So till then, stay tuned for more videos. And